subscribe.
Hey everybody, Russell Envy here, back with another video about the metaverse known as Upland, and in this video we are going to be uncovering some drama that has happened today, and it all started with a video I made about the Great Racetrack Challenge going on in Upland. First and foremost, please come over here to Twitter, Russell ENVY, follow me on this YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to my videos. I'm constantly updating my YouTube channel with things that I think are not only beneficial to you, somebody in the Upland metaverse, but also breaking news about some things that are going on, much like what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, if you already follow me on Twitter, you know that I posted this the other day, that I'm pretty sure I won the Series 4 car that is up for grabs if your track is selected for the Great Racetrack Challenge. Now, I submitted this dinosaur-shaped pinata racetrack. Some people say it looks like a soggy toilet. I'll let you decide. It definitely made me laugh, that's for sure. I wasn't even considered, but I was, and I am, part of the Upland Content Network. So that is a bunch of people that develop content or create content around Upland. I'm a part of that, and I was asked earlier today to go and review the 3 racetrack finalists that are a part of the Great Racetrack Challenge. So the Great Racetrack Challenge, this is something that every Uplander had a chance to design their own racetrack and submit it. Basically, here's what our 3 finalists are. We have the Bullet Car Chase Loop by Jojuga Head, I think is what it is. You can see that this racetrack was designed around a movie called Bullet with Steve McQueen. If you don't know Steve McQueen, you probably should go watch this and, do a little history, because Steve McQueen's a pretty big deal when it comes to cars and movies. So this racetrack was inspired because of that, which is really cool. You start here and you go hit these 3 hard right-hand turns, and then we can actually see that these tracks right here, they cross over, and in one of the videos that somebody created, the cars almost collided. It was pretty cool. In my video, you can kind of see the same thing, but in one of the other videos, it was pretty cool. So you can see this is the Bullet Car Chase Loop. This is a track that was submitted. Next, we have the Westwood Eclipse by NFT Architect. Now this track was submitted. You can see here's the start finish line, and you race this large outside loop, and then you hit this short chute, and then it comes through here, and you race backwards through the inner loop, again out through the chute, and then back around. This is actually a pretty cool racetrack. It's very technical. You have a little bit of straightaway speed, but you have a lot of cornering. It's a pretty fun racetrack to watch your car drive. And last but not least, the 3rd finalist was the Midtown Terrace by Vasquez. And this track right here is where all the drama in this video comes from. Now the funny thing about this is that Midtown Terrace is a well-known node inside of Upland. If we come here into the game, you can see I'm in San Francisco. I'm kind of just floating around, but Midtown Terrace is right here. It's in the heart of San Francisco, and it's not very big. So we can already see that this racetrack that was submitted, it's almost the size, if not it is the whole entire size of Midtown Terrace. It's just not including right here, this other section, but it's basically all the way here, down this way. Here's a little triangle part. So again, if you look at the track, you can kind of start seeing where they did some things. There's like the little turn that comes through here, and it goes back down and around. So you can see that like Midtown Terrace is definitely not a big place, but here's what I can tell you about Midtown Terrace. Midtown Terrace is not only one of the most well-known nodes, to me at least, in the game, but they are highly organized, and what they do is they put their foot down on a plan, and that is what they execute, for better, for poor, for richer, for sickness and health, all that good jazz. They put their foot down, and this is what they do. So they have built some awesome stuff here, and that is why they've come up with their own racetrack. But however, the drama here is that Vasquez, this is not his racetrack because he is not a part of Midtown Terrace. In fact, he does not own any property in San Francisco. I'll show you how I know that here in a second. But we can see here in Midtown Terrace, not very big, but we do know that this racetrack should be a little bit different. Now, how do we know that? A little bit further down here on the Great Racetrack Challenge, you can see that Upland has linked to Thank Me Later's video and my video where we race our cars through all 3 tracks and we give our opinions about what tracks we like or the things that we like about every track. That's probably more suitable the way to describe it. So here's my video, and you can see that, I mean, I even said this in my video. Thank Me Later said this in his video. I mean, we know Midtown Terrace. We know exactly the group who's behind here. But look how cool this racetrack is. I mean, I'm going to give you a sneak peek here. But as my car takes off, that's my Series 1 electric yellow. I still need to come up with a name for her. But you can see that as we start racing through Midtown Terrace, I mean, look how cool this is. This is definitely what every node needs to strive for. Highly organized. Look at all the color coordination going on. Look how everything is basically, I mean, these are almost all townhomes here. Not small townhomes. Like there's a few in between and stuff, but these are all big townhomes here, and this is very, very cool. However, what brought me to making this video was actually when somebody commented on said video. Now this comes from the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment, the MVE. So you can see here, just so people know, the Midtown Terrace track has nothing to do with the UDU, the Midtown Terrace node, or the MTU 100 Upland Racing League track in Midtown Terrace. I called it on the 16th. Believe me, there will be people who will go out of their way to submit alternative tracks in Midtown Terrace. People can vote for whatever they want, but this track is a deliberate and targeted parasite. At the end of the day, it brings me more eyeballs and attention to Midtown Terrace, which is awesome, but it will never be supported by the team who has done all the work over the last 15 months to develop Midtown Terrace into what it is today. So this is somebody here, still, I wasn't sure who this was until I started putting 2 and 2 together, but it turns out this person is Ben68. So Ben68 right here is the node father and the founder of the UDU, the Upland Development United, and the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment, the MVE. So he's the node father and the founder of all these things. So we know that now this is Ben talking. And not only that, he submitted it, right? He says right here, back on the 16th, this is what I said. Well, here's a screenshot of what he said on the 16th. Believe me, there will be people who will go out of their way to submit alternative tracks in Midtown Terrace. I mean, this is legit, but I wanted to find this because I had a feeling that there was a little bit more. So I hopped over to Handy Dandy Discord. I am also in the Upland Racing League, and here's where everything started. Now, here's the irony for me, is that Coop is an individual who I know from Portage Park. Portage Park is my favorite node. It's one that I am heavily involved in. I'm a 2-time counselor. Now I'm a counselor emeritus over there because other people are now part of the government there. But what's really cool is that Coop, he was the one who helped me point out in another video that I have on my YouTube channel about Chief Executive Octavius, when he went to jail. Coop was the one that pointed me over to the right Discord server where Octavius was airing out everything that happened with his jailing. So I find it very ironic that this over here in this Discord starts with Coop posting a video to Thank Me Later's review of the racetracks in Upland, but Coop said, driving on community developed tracks, huh? So we can see here that even as soon as people watched my video and Thank Me Later's video, they already knew that the Midtown Terrace racetrack, that wasn't the racetrack that is what is submitted by the node father and the founder of the MDU and the MVE. You can obviously see that Coop knows it, and as we start going through, you'll see other people who know it. So here's Ben inside of the node, and you can see, believe me, there will be people who will go out of their way to submit alternative tracks in Midtown Terrace. That's exactly here from 716. So that is where we will pick up here on Discord. So Ben says, told you this was going to happen. That Midtown Terrace track has nothing to do with the MDU, the Midtown Terrace node, or the MTU 100 Upland Racing League track in Midtown Terrace. Now, he also said this on my YouTube channel, so I mean, this is not only enough to confirm everything that's going on, but this is the best proof that you can find is the actual words coming from the actual person, not only on the actual Racing League server, but here on Twitter and also on my very own YouTube channel. So, I mean, it doesn't get better as a source than that. So we can see here, Ben said knew it was going to happen. Now, Dak is the actual league commissioner here. He's also part of the HQ track, driver, track updates, team updates, all the good stuff. Dak has everything to do with the Upland Racing League. So Ben said that he knew that this was going to happen. Dak said he was shocked, but hey, at least your node is being represented. Now, the track is a deliberate and targeted parasite, says Ben. At the end of the day, it brings more eyeballs. I mean, we already read this, but we know what he's about to say. So Dak says, it is disappointing that Upland allowed players to create tracks that aren't actually supported by the community. It's great to have more tracks, but this was a good opportunity to start engaging the community in a deeper level. The Upland Racing League will host the MTU 100 as an official track, and our events will be held on the MTU sanctioned track. So you can see here, if you don't know what's going on, the Upland Racing League is a sanctioning body that has verified, sanctioned, and has racetracks from all nodes inside of Upland. Everything that's created, even our very own Portage Park, we have our tracks that are part of the Upland Racing League. They are sanctioned here. Dak has a lot to do with it. So this is big news, saying that no matter what, this racetrack that was submitted, even though if it makes its way in the game, there will be a different track when the Upland Racing League is a thing. So scroll down a little bit more, and here's Thank Me Later, the person that created this video. You can tell by the turtle in the top hat. Dang, that's messed up. Who the F would do that? Yeah, I assumed it was your track. Well, I talked up Midtown Terrace while racing it and about how much better a track here looks because it's built out. I mean, I did the same exact thing. So you can see Ben says it doesn't surprise him. There's no shortage of UDU and Ben 68 haters. Now, I am a big fan of the UDU, the MVE, and Ben 68. So, shout out, much love, Ben, making this video to support your effort here. So here's More Cheese. Now, More Cheese is another person who is part of the UDU. You can see here, it doesn't have any roles yet, just like how Ben has. See how Ben has all these roles? More Cheese should have the same thing that Ben has, I believe, because this is all of their, I think that's Ben's 68's character, then there's More Cheese. So, yeah, he should have some roles. You can see that I'm more surprised and disappointed on Upland's side, to be honest. How come I have no roles here? Upland has never been a fan either. We do what we always do, which is stick to the plan. Midtown Terrace, rock on. So, like I was saying earlier, this is how I know Midtown Terrace. They do their own thing. Whatever their plan is, they put the pedal to the metal and they just move forward. So there's a conversation about who is a vendor or a promoter, and you can see that Dak replies here, but here's where things get interesting. Remember here on the official blog post that this was created by a Vasquez. Now, if we take the name and we go into Upland and we go into the player search, this has to be a real name because that is what was required when you submitted the racetrack. So here's the player. You can see some details about them. Pause the video. You can go search yourself. But we can see here that this is where Ben calls out a Vasquez, who is a well-established Upland Racing League member here. So that's when Thank Me Later says, hey, was this malicious? Was it accidental? Trying to be a friend? Maybe a miscommunication? And so this is what I love about Ben's response. Hey, look, if it was malicious, it would be a UDU member or some past blood from some bad people, somebody who wanted to get back at the UDU. If this was accidental, it might be from somebody not well established in the Upland Racing server. If they were trying to be a friend, it would have involved a front-loaded conversation to coordinate multiple submissions. That's right, Ben did submit this already, their version of the Midtown Terrace track, not this other one. If it was a miscommunication, it might be some ESL barrier. However, none of those are true, so yeah, it was definitely parasitic for sure. It's a community game, though. No rules to say that people couldn't do something like this, just, community ethics and whatnot. But very few people seem concerned about those when put up against promoting their own self-interest. It's a move to be made for sure. It's not one that I will ever support, says Ben68. Now, I wholeheartedly agree with Ben here that there is a thing called community ethics. If you are a well-known person in the URL, like Ben says, then you can definitely see that, you should have a little bit of community ethics here. And now here is a response from Vasquez. So now they start having a conversation with each other. To be honest, I designed tracks. I wanted to enter the San Francisco contest. I have no properties in San Francisco. See, that's how I know he had no properties. I submitted 3 racetracks that I liked the streets, and I did realize your node had a track, or even it was your guys' node. I don't own the track. You guys do. Not sure how that works, but you guys can have it. I meant no harm. I wasn't thinking. Now, I completely understand and sympathize with the person. Maybe that's true. Maybe he wasn't thinking, but as somebody who is a established, well-known person, you have to think a little bit here, right? I think so, at least. So Ben replies, we appreciate the extra attention and the eyeballs. Sorry, it's yours, not mine. Like I said, it was a play to be made for sure. I just didn't think it would come from somebody within the Upland Racing League. There's no getting around that being messy. And then, so Vasquez right here says, actually, they knew nothing about it. The URL he's talking about. So this tells me that nobody, Dak, even people that are part of the sanctioning body, did not know that this was going on. Vasquez operated independently. Anyways, it's not my track. In my honest opinion, it's the node. So that's where Ben says, look, no, that's definitely not the node's track. The actual node track is well established both here in the Upland Racing League and in the wider community for anybody that's been paying attention. Again, we appreciate the extra attention, and that's about as far as this needs to go. You're right, I wasn't paying attention to your group, and with no community support, it won't win anyways. If it does, I'll donate the car to the node or to More Cheese or to Ben, whatever. Ben says not necessary. As I said, there was nothing stopping anybody from doing it right. I just fully expected it to happen, just not from, again, somebody here well established in the Upland Racing Team League. Now you can see this is where I really drew notice. Dak. Now we know Dak is the league commissioner. He put out a massive alert to everyone here in the Upland Racing League. Recently, there was an incident with a former ranking board member. Wow, former already says what we need to know. But ranking board member who submitted a track to a competition that infringed on the existing sanctioned track. We strongly believe that the effort put by the race commissioners should be rewarded and protected, such as Ben 68. As such, we do not condone the infringement of other players' intellectual property, willing or by accident. The situation was acknowledged and the former ranking board member voluntarily stepped down. So that's right. It looks like that because of this happened and Ben saying something, Vasquez is no longer a high-ranking official here in the Upland Racing League. We apologize to the MTU for any inconvenience that has been caused. We truly didn't expect the situation to occur as a result of a ranking board member's actions. And not only that, this is a pinned message. So if you don't know about Discord, pinned messages make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So they want to make sure everybody is aware of this, that this happened. So, I mean, if you're part of the Upland Racing League, or you follow me on Twitter, or you follow Ben on Twitter, or you just happen to browse my video, you know that this is going on. Now, what I thought was very interesting here is that in the comment of my video, another person here named Jimmy James said that I didn't see that in the rules, that it sounds like there's already drama going on, exactly why I'm making the video. You had the same chance, I think that's what it's supposed to say, to submit your track as the rest of us. I'm guessing your track sucked. Midtown Terrace gets my vote 100%. So, we already know what Ben's going to say. Thanks for supporting the track, but we're not going to sanction it. We have our own track. So you can see Jimmy says, look, the guy did you guys a big favor, giving you a 1 in 3 chance of the very first track. You need to make some small adjustments in your plans. There's a very low chance that what you had will ever be built. Did you even submit the track? So Ben says, yeah, we did, and we had it in a managerial position in the Upland Racing League that was in support of the submission, and in making plans, it should have been successful. So it goes on to some stuff. Yes, we know the guy made a mistake, but, a lot of drama going here. So, I mean, this is very interesting. I just made this video not too long ago. There's already some drama here. I was able to source it back to Ben, and I was able to go over here on Discord and find all of the juicy details out, and even read everything from the conversation between the Vasquez and Ben and Dak, who is, once again, league commissioner. I mean, this is all great stuff. So a couple of things. I definitely want you to come over here and watch this video of the Great Racetrack Challenge. You can see some really cool things with the Bullet Car Loop. You can see the Westwood Eclipse. This is a lot of fun. And you can see Midtown Terrace. And then I do leave my review, my opinion, some things that I liked about all of the tracks. I highly encourage you to go watch this video after watching the video that you're currently watching right now. Last but not least, my name is Russell Envy. Please come follow me right here on Twitter. Also, like, subscribe, and go ahead, click that notification bell on my YouTube channel. Every time I upload a video, you will be notified. I have great stuff coming down the pipeline. Until next time, make sure that during your Spark Week, you are getting your Spark on.
Subscribe.